Hello?
Yo,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, but my StreamYard is glitched. All right, that was really delayed. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
good start.
Well, I'm at one of my listings and there's no Wi-Fi. So I'm using my hotspot and I don't know what happened, but as soon as I was ready to go, I did the countdown and then I was trying to fuck around with it and nothing was happening. So and then it shut down and it said your internet connection's unstable. So I put my phone for the hotspot. I mean, I put it like all the way next to the window. So I think that's gonna have to work. If we go in and out, it is what it is, but we'll do our best. How's your connection on your end? You hear and see me okay?
Yep, it's going well.
Okay. You sound good. You look good. Bucknuts in. Congratulations. Congratulations. Steak, I was kind of in and out of that game. I watched the first quarter of it. It was a 6-minute lag, by the way. I
On the
was
plane?
on the plane.
Yeah.
I saw people on Twitter talking about a great catch, and then a touchdown, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, "What are you talking about a touchdown?" I'm like, the under is going to cash easy. These motherfuckers ain't scoring a point. And then when I got home, I watched the second half of it. Did you watch the whole game?
Yeah.
What was your takeaway from Texas Ohio State?
Ohio State is dominant. That wasn't their most impressive performance of this playoff. Obviously, it might have been their third most impressive. Texas stinks. They stink. They can't run the ball. They're not consistent offensively. They're not very good. They're not great defensively. They stink.
Wait, let me pause you. Let me pause you there. I commented, I tweeted something, and somebody commented and said, Texas hung with them the entire game. If the play calling was different, it could have been tied. I don't know how because I said the same thing. I'm like, Ohio State, to me, was clearly the better team from what I watched.
Yeah.
But a commenter said, I don't know how you watch that game, and that's your takeaway of basically
well, let me say this. If your goal as a Texas fan is to stay in the game, then congratulations. You stayed in the game. Congrats. Big dubs, Texas. You stayed in the game in the semifinal. Get you a trophy.
I don't see, and good morning, guys. Ethan, pleasure meeting you at the Hard Rock W's. We'll talk about our trip in a little bit. Dude, that was a sick toss on the 1 yard line. I don't know. It'll just never, ever, ever make sense to me when you need to go forward. And that's why I hate when people bitch about the tush push. It's not real football, blah, blah, blah. The objective of the game is to move the ball forward. When you throw the ball 5-6 yards behind where you need to go as your start to then move the ball forward, you are an incompetent moron. And you don't deserve success from that. So anyways, Jeff Matthews, congrats to John ND. Hope everybody had a good time. We had an excellent time. Cam is money with a sub bang, loses Texas on F live. Oh, Steak, you took live, didn't you?
I had 11.5, same shit.
Backpack.
I was gutting.
Backpack 08 with a first-time chatter. What's up? Welcome to the stream, Backpack. Ohio State defense just got the best of them in that 4th and goal. I don't know. I didn't really see much from Texas. I did miss the touchdown at the end of the half from both teams, so I didn't see that play. My opinion. Sorry to cut you off, Stick. I just wanted to hear what you had to say, and I knew you were going to say something good. Was there more to that your takeaways were?
No, but I don't care if I don't know ball. This is a guaranteed. If you QB sneak 4 times, it is 100% guarantee that you are going to get in from the one time. It's a fucking guarantee. It's 100%. I don't understand how you toss the ball, how you line up in shotgun, how you throw the ball. I don't understand. It's a fucking guarantee. If you sneak from the 1 4 times, you are getting in 1 time. You're getting a yard.
I truly don't get it. I remember people know I played nose guard, and we in practice, my coach had us, the offensive coach, had them line up and run the QB sneak until we could stop it. Stop it as in just not even get 1 yard. Yeah. And dude, I mean, I think it took like 8 or 9 tries to finally do it. It is so fucking difficult. And that's why the tush push is brilliant. But at least I will say this. What happened to I formation? What happened to putting a fullback in there and getting under center? What happened to that?
I don't know.
I don't get it. It blows my mind. Anyways, my quick takeaways were this. I'll start with Ohio State first. I don't know, and Steak, I want to hear your thoughts on this too. I thought from start to finish, Ohio State was the better team. And then I do have to take a second to realize they were only up 7-0 essentially for the first half of football.
Yeah.
That then they were tied. I didn't see that touchdown. I don't know how Texas scored. I know I saw the 75-yard whatever play on my phone, but the second half from what I watched, I still thought to myself, Ohio State is clearly the better team. Yet it was 14-14 until that last drive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Am I missing something? Do I need to give credit a little bit more to Texas, or was Ohio State kind of playing scared? I mean,
no, they weren't playing scared, but like I said, it was their third best performance so far in this playoff. They were much more dominant against Oregon and Tennessee. It wasn't their best offensive game by any means, but Texas didn't take advantage at all. And like all the Ohio State fans are pointing out, made a bunch of mistakes, bunch of penalties. I'm not impressed with Texas. I guess if I have to give Texas credit, they were much better defensively than Tennessee or Oregon. I'll say that. In this game. But yeah, I think Ohio State is definitely the team that thinks they're the best team in the country, playing like the best team in the country, and there's not much else to really say.
Yeah. I'm scared. As a Notre Dame fan, I very, very much wanted Texas to win that game. And I just never felt like it was going to happen. Terrified of Ohio State. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The last thing I want to say about Texas, my takeaways, I don't see anyone kind of similar to Georgia, and this is weird. I don't see anyone on the defensive side of the ball that really jumps out to me. And when I said this about Georgia, I did reference the one massive fucking D end or linebacker, and somebody told me, I think it was Javon Walker. We talked about this, or Mikal
Williams.
So they have two guys. I remember at least like that guy was dominant, kind of like how Jared Verse, when I watched Florida State, I was like, this guy is just a men among boys.
Yeah.
Is there someone like that for Texas?
So I don't know if he's like that, like you're describing, like a guaranteed top 10 pick, like Abdul Carter, but Jack Sawyer's like
no, on Texas, not Ohio State.
Oh, on Texas. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Ohio State.
Jack Sawyer's a big dude.
There's a couple guys that are going to go in the first round, I think, on the defensive line for sure. But Texas always has those guys. But no, I guess I would say no.
Offensively, I don't know what happened to Texas's running game. They usually always have a pretty good running back. And Bolden and Bond are great, no doubt about it. Quinn Ewers, in my opinion, all he's got is a flick of the wrist.
That's all he's got. He didn't get any favors from his receivers or tight ends, though, I'll say that.
No, I didn't. I thought like it felt like I was watching like Penn State's offense or something. I'm like, where are the playmakers? And Quinn Ewers' most lethal play is when the play is about to break, the pocket's about to collapse, and then he has a guy, usually his tight end or someone, kind of trailing like a delayed route, and he just like flicks the wrist and he puts it so beautifully. It's just about a fucking 15, 20 yard, maybe 20 yard throw. Maybe. Yeah. More like a 15-yard throw. And it's just in stride, beautiful. I saw he had a couple of those. Other than that, not impressed. So Ohio State, the other thing I'll say is Will Howard, don't know how good he is, but love that he loves to play football. I mean, he is having fun. He is has emotion. He's like inspiring his guys on the sideline. The way he was did you see him like punching Jack Sawyer at that play? And I heard him, I read his lips. He was like, we're going, as in we're going to the championship. Notice he didn't say we're winning. Yeah. We're winning it all. He didn't say that. So it makes me think he's respecting Notre Dame, which I also like.
I just think they're respecting the process. Like I said, they've showed up to every game. They've showed up to all three games. Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame is a hell of a fucking path to go through for a national championship. So somebody's doing a good job, whether it's Will Howard or Ryan Day, keeping everyone focused. Like I said, I'm impressed by the Buckeyes. I don't think I could really pull out anything negative to say about them at all.
Yep. Yeah, it was. I got to give him credit. It was the worst loss I think one of the worst losses I've ever seen by a team. It was pathetic. And but you're right. I mean, the way they're responding out there, you could tell they're pissed off. And you do have to credit the coach for that, I guess. So Ryan Day deserves a little bit of credit. DJ, not being an ass, just genuinely asking, do you think Indy's defense will be able to contain Smith? I'm going to say this. I think before we talk about the matchup, let's just briefly recap the Orange Bowl, because we do have to get to Texans, Chargers, and Ravens, Steelers. I think Notre Dame's defense is a problem for anyone. And it's Penn State. Yes, they scored 24 points. Yes, Singleton and Allen ran very well. And I know Drew Aller is just hot, stinky doo-doo. The way Notre Dame's defense is coached by Freeman and Golden and how disciplined they are, I think they're just so fundamentally sound. If you look at their size and speed and skill and compare it to the offense of Ohio State, no, it's a total mismatch. And Ohio State should put up 30 plus, I think, if Penn State can put up 24. But I still think they're going to make it difficult. So, Steak, Orange Bowl. I would say I don't want to go out there and say 10-10, but we did talk about this leaving the game. One of, if not the best sporting events, not even just college football, maybe football game I've ever attended. You've been to a lot more than me. Would you agree you'd put it up there, top 2, 3?
It was so good, man. It was so, so good. And I thought the fan bases were amazing. I thought the 60-40 split was amazing. It definitely felt a touch like a home game for Penn State at points in the game, especially when they got momentum. But, I mean, those are two really good fan bases. I think we talked about it. It's like, actually, I did talk about it. I said it was a 50-50 game. I think I nailed that. It was such a 50-50 game. Almost 50-50 in the crowds, 50-50 on the football field. Two teams that haven't been here, so they don't act cocky like they've been here. And I thought it was fucking awesome. The fact that it kind of had a slow start, but the second half was just fucking bonkers, played into it as well.
Yeah, as soon as we got to the hotel, I mean, I saw 4 or 5 Penn State fans walking in, and I started to think to myself, I was like, man, Penn State, I'm sure they travel well. I'm sure they want to escape the cold. I'm starting to wonder in my head how outnumbered is Notre Dame going to be. But then as we enter the hotel, we check in, you see some Notre Dame fans. You see more Penn State fans. You see more Notre Dame fans. Just from the hotel experience, I was like, this is 50-50. And I was feeling good about that. Then we get to the stadium. We're walking in. Still feels kind of 50-50. Then we get into the stadium, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, this is like 60-40.
Yeah.
A lot more white in that crowd, I think, the Notre Dame fans. And everybody we encountered or engaged with, very respectable. The Penn State fans that sat behind us, everybody has a common enemy, and they want to beat Ohio State, which is great. The Orange Bowl itself, I will say this, they had extra security for anybody that gives a shit about this kind of stuff. It was the biggest joke of all time. They had like these poles that you have to just walk through, and I guess it's a metal detector, and then there's another set of them, and like that's it. And that picture I posted where it was chaos, I mean, it moved quickly, but to funnel thousands of people under a bridge in a narrow walkway like that doesn't seem like a great idea. That was not the brightest thing. The down and distance people working the stadium in the game, awful. It would be 2nd and 10. They would have a 8-yard run. On the down and distance, it would say 3rd and 7. And then the fucking clock operator.
It was the worst I've ever seen.
Worst I have ever seen.
It was insane.
But yeah, Steak nailed it. It was 50-50. The over. Steak is usually pretty positive and not quick to abandon his bets. I would say he felt like we were in trouble with the over. I'm kind of right there with him. Our friend Drew was Mr. Positive and bright side and said it's never in doubt, and it never was in doubt. When Steve Angeli came in the game, I assured everybody he's a swag daddy. He can throw the ball, probably better than Riley Leonard. And they were poised. He wasn't great in the pocket. He did take 2 sacks, and he even fumbled that Notre Dame recovered, which is massive. But the points before halftime, that field goal, huge. And then I was taking a piss when Riley Leonard scored. That was also huge, the spark they needed. Steak, quick, early thoughts after having seen Notre Dame in person and the matchup coming up, which, yes, just to remind the followers, we will be there boots on ground. We bought tickets to the national championship game a month ago. We had no idea it was going to be Notre Dame. So what's your early thoughts right now? No spread, just how these teams match up. Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame will have to be perfect to stay in this game. They those interceptions against Penn State where they had pass interference penalties, which obviously I think were pretty bad calls, but doesn't matter. Can't have anything like that happen. If they're going to need to pick off Will Howard once or get a fumble. And I guess my biggest concern is how they're going to stop Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson after watching what Penn State was able to do. Albeit the first half, Penn State run game was a lot better than the second half. But I have concerns about the run game. I'm more scared about the run game than what Brink said about them getting lit up by Jeremiah Smith. Obviously, he's the fucking best and he could light up any team. But for me, I'm more concerned about Notre Dame stopping the run at the line of scrimmage, them just getting 6 yards at will. That scares me.
Yeah, if Penn State legitimately just kept running the ball and abandoned the pass, I don't think Notre Dame would have won that game.
I don't either.
And for whatever reason, I think they were out to try to prove that Drew Aller is a good quarterback, and that backfired. PSU fan, try not to think about the game. Not sure what to think at this point. Are we good? I think Penn State's good.
Me too. I just think Drew Aller sucks. I think the rest of the team is solid. I'll say this: Penn State has to start recruiting wide receivers. I don't even understand what's happening. I just don't understand. A wide receiver didn't have a catch. How the fuck does that happen?
I don't know.
That's insane.
I don't know. And it's probably a little wide receiver. It's probably a little Drew Aller too. How good is Tyler Warren?
He's amazing.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to draft him, how high he's going to go, but that guy is fucking awesome. He's not like a Brock Bowers because he's bigger, but is that the kind of role he's going to play?
Nah, I feel like he's like a Taysom Hill.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, he was playing Wildcat though.
Yeah, I know. So it's a good comp.
Fucking onto something. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that is a pretty good comp. Oh, Bronco. He's a Bronco. He's a Bronco.
I don't hate that. Yeah,
I don't hate that at all. Oh, look at that. I just got beat to it. Penn State with Franklin, 1-18 against top 5 teams is just unbelievably absurd. Yes, it is. Yep. Egbuka girlfriend goes to ND. Ooh, inside information. Yep. He's a Colt. Yeah, have fun with that. I can get you some Buckeyes gear. No, thank you. Good luck on the over. Yep, steak. Football brain felt like an under. State came around to saying we need points. We were listening to podcasts and all sorts of shit on the ride down. What did everybody say? Under. And for 2.5 quarters, we were like, God damn it, we're going to look like fucking
everybody
idiots.
was right. Yeah.
Yep. Everybody was right. Yep. Okay. Let's get into it. That's a solid 20-minute recap. Thank you everybody for all the kind words, by the way. I truly mean that. All the tweets and the DMs and everything. There was a lot of support. People are not only happy for the Notre Dame victory, but also liking the content. We appreciate that. If you guys have any feedback or ideas or anything, we're not the most creative individuals, but we're always down to have a good time and give the people what they want. Somebody asked when my head is being shaved. I have the 16th. I have to film something. As long as that happens, Steak is going to shave my head the morning of the national championship game, Monday, January 20th. And we're going to live stream it. It's going to be subscriber only. I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to figure it out. Was the cop nice?
Yeah, he was.
Yep. He was very nice. Did the cop give you a ticket pulled over? No. We won't get into too many details, but it had to do with the registration. Little misunderstanding. We got it cleared up. The guy was very nice. Glad to see Steak family let him home. Morning, fellas. What's up, Parlay Patty? Yep. Okay. Wow, I'm going to be there for the shave. Yes, you are, Joey Dumps. Can't wait. All right, Steak. We are going to start with the Chargers and the Texans. As it looks right now, I'm going to pull up Wager Talk real quick. I don't know if there has been any updates on any sort of injury status in this game. I forget who was or was not expected to play. I think everybody's a full go, but I'm looking at the board right now on Wager Talk. Did you hear that?
Was that on your end? Big ding. Very loud ding.
Yeah.
I like saying ding.
Well, I hope it wasn't the doorbell. I don't have a showing until noon.
It sounded a little bit like the doorbell.
All right, you want to go to a quick commercial break while I check it out, or do you want to talk about this game?
No, go ahead. Do 30 seconds.
All right, quick 30 seconds. Hold on.
Snowflake in the chat.
All right, I think we're good.
Cool.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just making sure the connection's okay. It was Wager Talk ad to get you to buy plays. Oh, no shit. That is hilarious. Okay. Open 3. It's finally down to 2.5. Looks like some Houston money coming in. Total 44 down to 41.5. You have a best bet in this game. It is
The over.
Is this a copy paste situation from Notre Dame Penn State?
I mean, as much as you can copy and paste a Notre Dame Penn State game to an NFL playoff game, but yeah, I do think both of these teams' focus should be on the offensive side of the ball. I love that Nico Collins is back and seems to be fully healthy. I know it's not his first game back or anything like that. I love what I've seen from the Chargers offense. Honestly, I think the Chargers offense is slept on, and I don't care about the competition. It's still NFL football, but when you look back at the last 3 or 4 games, Chargers offense has been absolutely balling. And I don't think this has been a bad season for the Texans. I know they won the division and they're back in the playoffs, so it's hard to shit on it too much, but CJ Stroud's regression has been like really real. He doesn't look good. And I don't know what you do when you have a quarterback do as good as CJ Stroud did in year 1 and then kind of have this type of regression in year 2. But I know you can't come out conservative in your playoff game. There's absolutely no fucking point. Like there's no point to be conservative for Houston. So I'm expecting aggressive offensive game plan out of Houston. I know you lean Houston. I honestly lean the Chargers. I honestly just lean the Chargers. It's a football brain play. I think they're better. And I like what I've seen from them, but my favorite play is the over.
I'm with you. I like 2 things. You said it. If you have been following or paying attention to the Los Angeles Chargers, they are so aggressive on offense and primarily in the passing game. The last 3, they put up 34, 40, and 34. But what I notice and what stands out to me the most are Justin Herbert's stats, his passing attempts. How many times the Los Angeles Chargers are throwing the ball? This is a team where they got Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins and Jim Harbaugh, and everybody kind of expected them to run, pass, especially with the lack of weapons. Dude, I'm going to read you Justin Herbert's stats the last 2 games against the Raiders. What?
He's balling.
28 of 36, 346 yards, 2 touchdowns. Against the New England Patriots, 26 of 38, 281 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This is on the road. In a dome, outdoors, doesn't matter. The Chargers are going to be aggressive, and I do think the Chargers are going to have success. I don't like what I've seen from the Texans. If anything, I do like their defense far more than their offense. But I'm going to tell you something else that I like. Well, I guess I'll put it into 2 parts. How about that? I like that the Texans feel like a non-trendy dog. I don't love a team that necessarily is limping into the playoffs and hasn't looked great all year. If a team has looked good, I don't want them to look too good, if that makes sense. I don't want a team to peak coming into the playoffs because it's a new season and everything kind of changes. But I kind of like a team that hits a little bit of a low. But the Texans don't totally fit that for me because from what I've watched, I just don't think they're very good. If it wasn't for that, I'd be on the Texans for sure, because the last time they played at home was a 31-2 drubbing of the Ravens. If you remember, I watched it. CJ Stroud from start to finish looked lost. He looked lost. He couldn't even execute a fucking 3 to 4 yard pass to the tight end. He couldn't throw it to the flat. It was bad. It was so bad, missing wide open people. But
he looked pretty lost all season.
He did look lost all season. You're right. You know what I like? This is going to sound so stupid, but I like that he went to Tennessee. They went into Tennessee last week. They rested the starters, but they gave him one drive. He was 6 for 6, 50 yards, and a touchdown. You had to get a little bit of that. I would have hated if they didn't play him at all, and this would be just his first game. I like that he got that under his belt, and I feel like you're going to get a little motivation from him to be way better than he was. That correlates to the offense. I like points from both sides. I'm going to be honest with you. I could see this just like Penn State, Notre Dame. I might even take exact score, Chargers 27-24. But I like the Texans offense, and I'm going to tell you what I'm scared of if I'm betting the Chargers. Are you officially on the Chargers? Obviously, the over is your best bet. Are you going to bet the Chargers?
I'm not sure yet. I can't say I'm officially on or off. I'm leaning towards probably pressing the button. I'm honestly might just press the button on some of these square spots that I like and see what happens. Like, the NFL has been so square. Like, I like the Chargers and the Eagles. I might press those buttons.
Do it. Yeah. Absolutely. But you're not worried that it was a square season and the playoffs could be different?
I don't gamble like that. Matter of fact, I don't. That's catching the falling knife, essentially. I'm not really into that.
Right. You might be right. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to be watching this game. I do have something to go to at 6:30. I have a friend's 40th birthday. Shout out old people. But I'm going to watch this game. If I see CJ Stroud look dialed, I might try to get a live line on the Texans. But if he comes out and they look bad, he's throwing balls in the dirt, or he's just inaccurate, I'm totally out. But you have to remember something, chat. I've told you this about the Chargers all season. Yes, I was wrong about them, but betting on Chargers games, I was very, very right about them. And this is what I followed, okay? Remember, their best bet for them at Cleveland. We took them a few other places. The only time we missed was fading them with the Falcons on the road. They have a quarter to 2 quarters of football where they do nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's usually in the second half. Lately, it's been in the first half against the Chiefs and against the Broncos. Then they woke up. If you see that start to happen, if there's any sort of momentum, if they don't play a complete game, I do think the Texans can somehow find a way to win. Steak, props in this game. What do we like? I'm on underdog right now. I am leaning Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon's going to be my guy. I think he's going to be the do-it-all. I'm sure the Chargers are going to be good enough to scheme and basically say, we're going to force Stroud to beat us. You're down Tank Dell. Obviously, Nico Collins is playing. No Dell, no Diggs. We'll let Stroud look bad beat us and take Joe Mixon out of this game. So maybe they're going to try to stop the run. Last couple of games for Mixon, Steak. 5 carries, 23 yards. Obviously, didn't play the full game. Ravens, 9 carries, 26 yards. 2 catches for 13. Chiefs, 14 carries, 57 yards. 1 catch for 14. Miami, 12 carries, 23 yards. 5 catches for 33. I think he has a much better day running the ball. I think he breaks one. I like his receiving as well. I'm going to go rushing and receiving. And on underdog, it's high. It's 93.5. But that's my play. That's going to be, I'm going to have to pair it with something, but I'll probably play it straight as well. What are your thoughts on that? And by the way, real quick, I'm going to post the underdog link in the Twitch chat. If you do sign up to play underdog, use our promo code DGEN. You get a deposit match up to $1,000. And thank you for the new follow. Phillies 1973, welcome. And Mike Catherman, Cam's Money, thanks for the sub. Thanks. Sorry, go ahead.
I fully agree with what you said about Joe Mixon, but I want to touch on a couple things you mentioned before. One, for some reason, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins get thrown in the same sentence a lot, and I know why. It's because they both came from the Ravens, and they're both pretty injury-prone, and they obviously both went to the Chargers. J.K. Dobbins is much, much, much better than Gus Edwards, a much better RB1, and the Chargers are much, much better when he's fully healthy. I can't speak to if he's fully healthy, but the reports are that he's fully healthy. I think that means a lot. I like his props, to be honest with you. I like the Chargers to run more than they have been passing. Obviously, when you just went over Justin Herbert's stats, I don't think he's going for 300 today or anything. I think he'll be good, and I think he's efficient. Somebody brought it up in the chat, and I wanted to bring it up for two reasons. One, the last playoff game the Chargers had, they were up 27-0 against the Jags. That's noteworthy. One, because I was at that game, and you asked when we were at the Notre Dame game, is that the best game you ever been to? That game is certainly in competition for sure, that Jags-Chargers playoff game. Two, I feel like I just feel like there's got to be something lingering in the head of Justin Herbert when that's your last playoff game. And even more so, it's making me like the Chargers, to be honest with you. And I've said this twice, or I said this about the Eagles, how the Eagles-Packers game sort of scares me for the Packers because they're in the same position they were last year, underdogs to the NFC East champion in the wild card, and obviously they beat the Cowboys outright. The Texans are sort of in the same position they were last year too, right? They won their division. They are playing a home game against obviously an AFC wild card. And I want to say the line's close to similar, right? Were the Texans favored or dogs against the Browns in that playoff game last year? I almost feel the line might be identical, dude. I think the Texans might have been 2.5-point favorites against the Browns.
You do?
2.5-point dogs. I mean, 2.5-point dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I am personally scared of those two spots, the Packers and the Texans, two teams in exact same positions last year where they found success. I almost think both teams have regressed too, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I don't think the Packers are as good as they were last year, and it's very obvious the Texans aren't either. So yeah, that's my read. J.K. Dobbins, and I love the Joe Mixon look.
Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else that we want to. I don't even really want to force a game script. There's no reason to. I think it's Joe Mixon. You like JK. That's it. I'm not going to get cute with Daltz. I'm not even really going to get involved with Ladd. I do want to pair this underdog square with something, but maybe I can do it in the next game. The next game's tough too. So I'm going to play exact score, Chargers 27-24. It will not surprise me if the Texans win and cover this game. If I see something I like from Stroud early, I might take it, but I'm going to tail you on the over, obviously, and then Joe Mixon rush receiving yards over. And sorry, Steak, what would your play be on JK?
Rush yards.
Higher than rush yards. Okay. What's up, DJ and fam? Hope all is well. I really want to press the Chargers button. Jack, thank you. All is well. We're a little banged up. Steak and I we drove 3.5 hours from Miami yesterday to Orlando. Steak had to work. I think he was able to squeeze in a nap. I had to fly back to New York. I can't sleep on planes, so I just drank some vodka diets. That was great, but now I'm hurting a little bit. So, and then I have to go somehow drink some more tonight. I cannot wait for Sunday. Okay. Last game, 11:35, then we'll shut it down. Steak, I'm going to need you to take the wheel on this one because I'm having a really, really tough time liking anything in this game. Let's see. The line opened 8.5 for Baltimore. Been bet up to 9.5. It's been sitting there, I think, for quite a bit. The total's 46, down to 44. Greg, initially, I think he liked the under in this game. I thought the total seemed a little high. But then I thought to myself, I don't know. The Ravens offense has been great, and the Steelers defense is terrible. It's a big spread. Maybe it does make sense. I could make a case for the under. And that case would be the Ravens leaning on Derrick Henry. I don't want to steal your thunder because you may have brought this up. You didn't bring it up.
No, I'm just saying you're not stealing my thunder, yeah.
I remember being on the Ravens and watching the game with you last year against the Chiefs. It was a miserable experience, and all I think anybody kept talking about is why did the Ravens abandon the run so early? That was the Chiefs' weakness on defense. You know that's got to be in the back of their head. They now have Derrick Henry. I think they're going to run the fuck out of him. I'd like to play him in some way, shape, or form, I guess. Like that would be my square play. Let me see what his rushing attempts would be. 20.5. I think I see him with like 22 carries in this game.
Yeah. I like over 20.5. I really do.
Yeah. Okay. I might.
Maybe it's running back day.
Fat Girl says, why is Steak so angry today? I think you're not angry. You just always kind of have that look on your face.
I have male resting bitch face.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
No, you ask Steak to do anything, and his answer is yes. It's not about the look. It's about what's inside. Also, after 3 tequila shots, he's up. Okay. Here in the hotel room at about 4:00 on game day, I think he yawned 17 times. And we kept telling him to take a nap, take a nap, take a nap. He said, I'm not taking a fucking nap. And then 5:30, 6:00 came and the tequila came in and he was a different man. All right, Steak. I like 20.5. As far as a side or a total goes, I can't figure it out. I don't know what to do. Where's your head at with this game?
My only advice to you, if you're looking for a game script, I don't think it would be fair to compare this Ravens-Steelers game to Chiefs-Ravens last year. I think it's more fair to compare it to Ravens-Texans last year. I don't think that the Ravens are going to play scared like they do against the Chiefs every year, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think you nailed it. I think they don't need to do much, which makes me a little nervous if you like Lamar Jackson props, because I do think they're going to lean on the run. I really don't see a way Pittsburgh competes in this game. And I know I'm just being the square guy by saying I like the Ravens and the Chargers, but why would I put my money on Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh Steelers after what I've seen for the last 4 to 5 weeks? I just don't know. I'd be really comfortable losing a unit, seeing if this awful Steelers team can compete against this really, really good Ravens team. And I do think they're going to dominate with the run. I love the look on Derrick Henry over attempts. But God, man, I'm just not sure. Like, give me a game script. Like, if I told you right on the spot, give me a game script that happens where the Steelers compete in this game that doesn't involve some ridiculous turnovers by the Ravens. Can you think of one?
Well, I guess what I'm trying to think about is this. The case for the Steelers, trying to answer your question, so removing the idea of 3 turnovers from the Ravens offense. The Steelers were able to look competent offensively with Russell Wilson at points in the season.
Yeah.
The problem is this, and this is kind of something I pointed out, and I was a little bit nervous about getting too excited about Russell Wilson. He did it against let me see, where was it? Against the Jets, against the Giants, against the Commanders. Now the Commanders are fine, but they put up 37, 26, 28. They beat the Ravens, but I remember that game. They did not play well. They did not look good. It was 18-16.
There's the game script, though. But you're right. There's the game script. They have to play that well defensively again.
Yep. Now, this is when everything started to take a little bit of a turn for the worse. They got their ass kicked on a short week to Cleveland, but this is where the season, we knew it going into it too. This is where their schedule got brutal, 4 straight division games, whatever. But
hold on.
And
I thought I was on Do Not Disturb.
What's that?
Go ahead. You didn't hear my thing going off?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just turned it on. Do Not Disturb.
Okay. Outside of crazy turnovers. Right. Well, here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to tell everybody. They put up 44 points on the road against the Bengals, but they did have extra time to prepare for that game. They got a little extra rest. That was after the Thursday night game against Cleveland. So that was a little bit of an outlier because this is what happened after that. They beat the Browns, but the Browns are terrible. Yeah. 27-14. Sorry, Bart. I know you still can't accept that. This is where things get bad. Against the Eagles, 13 points. Against the Ravens on the road, 17 points. Against the Chiefs at home, 10 points. And against the Bengals last week of the season, 17 points. So that rust that we saw, we're like, holy shit. It's kind of skewed by extra time in Cincinnati with 44 points, the Giants, and the Jets. And I know that they had that win against the Commanders, which was a great win. But also at the same time, that was like the ultimate Pickens jump ball merchant.
Bro. Yeah, and it was so long ago.
This is a bad offense, a bad Russell Wilson. Najee looked good for parts of the season. He looks terrible now. And the defense looks gassed. They look like they really don't want to play another divisional opponent. That's what I think they don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Do you think the game goes over or under?
Under.
Yeah.
I think the game goes under. I don't think the Ravens are going to have to do that much. I saw, obviously, everyone bringing up Zay Flowers. We know he's out. That sucks if he's out any more games. I don't think it's going to matter today. I think the Ravens have everything they need to win this game handily without him. But obviously, if he misses a game against whoever's next, that fucking would be awful.
Yeah, go back to Jaylen Warren Day. Jaylen Warren treated me very well, laddered him against the Chiefs. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I'm just kind of taking away what I saw in that game, he was by far and away the better player on the field compared to him.
Looked like that. It's looked like that for 2 years, and still he doesn't get the love. I don't know.
So the only thing I didn't get was the touchdown. It was well, he actually scored. There was a fucking holding call that brought it back. Now that I remember, let's see what happened against the Bengals, and that was a miserable game. But thank you, Steak. That was your best bet, and we got the hook on that. Oh, not the newsletter, but I got it. Let's see. First downs. The Steelers got 16 first downs against the Bengals. Passing yards, 119. Do you realize how fucking bad that is? Russell Wilson was 17 of 31. Oh no, it says 148.
That's one of the worst secondaries in the NFL.
It's crazy. Here's what I don't like though. Jaylen Warren wasn't really used much in that game. He had 6 carries for 21 yards. And he didn't catch a ball. So I don't know what Arthur Smith is doing. I mean, Najee Harris got 12 carries. He had 36 yards. That's fucking terrible.
Isn't it crazy Arthur Smith is getting fucking head coaching consideration?
Absolutely insane.
Would you ever want that fucking guy to coach your team?
Never.
Never in my fucking life.
Never. Bro. Just getting here. How long was the wait to leave? Well worth it, though. Chad, we actually got very lucky.
Quick
story on the Uber. We walked out of the stadium. The lot to get picked up is about a 10-minute walk. When you get to the lot, you're in the back of it. You have to get to the front of it. I think it was about 1.5 miles, maybe even 2 miles long. It takes about 20 minutes to walk a mile. So it's about a 40-minute walk. We even ran halfway. It said the Uber was 8 minutes away for about 25 minutes. There was no movement. It was a nightmare. We called the Uber driver because we're like, shit, we're about 0.5 mile from you. He's stuck in traffic. I called him. I said, should we come to you? Because he was like, apologies, I'm not moving, about to cancel. I said, should we come to you? He said, oh, absolutely. We ran to him. He's in a neighborhood. There's lines of cars in a neighborhood. He pulled a fucking Yui in someone's driveway and went backwards. It probably would have taken about 2.5 hours to get out of there at minimum. I think we got out in about 30, 40 minutes.
We got lucky as fuck.
After the 40-minute run.
Go to Uber driver. Maybe the best I've ever had.
Yep. We gave him the biggest tip I've ever given an Uber driver in my life. 50% tip. And it was not cheap. Okay. Let's keep moving. So, Steak, what do you think about Jaylen Warren today?
I just think the Steelers are going to have to abandon the run pretty early. I really do.
Well, I wouldn't mind receiving.
Okay. I don't hate that. I saw the guy who said a lot of dump downs. I think it would only be receiving for me. Like Jaylen Warren receptions is the only thing I could get down with.
Yeah. Someone said, are you worried if the Steelers go up that the Ravens are going to have to abandon the run game? No. And that's even assuming the Steelers get up. Let's say the Steelers get up, I don't know, 10-0.
14-0, which isn't going to happen. They're still going to be running Derrick Henry. I'm not worried.
I think the Ravens are going to run the ball. They're not going to panic. They're not going to panic. I don't hate Warren receptions, actually.
I kind of like it.
You do or don't?
I do.
Let's see what it is.
Also, God has to be mentioned because we are George Pickens guys, and I think that was his worst game as a professional when you consider the fact he had 1 catch for 0 yards and like 3 pretty bad drops. It has to be his worst game. So we think he has dog. Obviously, I could see him being a guy we back. I like George Pickens receptions.
Okay. Yeah, after a game where Jaylen Warren didn't get a catch, receptions 3.5, receiving yards 21.5, longest reception 11.5.
I think that receptions is a great fucking play.
Yep. It's the age of the running back this weekend bias. Interesting. If you look at the last game box score, it is misleading. Pitt was in that game until the 4th.
What game is he talking about?
What game is he talking about? It can't be the Bengals game.
They were in the game pretty much. They weren't in the game to the 4th.
Maybe he's talking about the 34-17 against Ravens. Hold on. Oh, he's right. It was 17-10 at halftime. It was 17-17 going into the end of the third quarter. He's right. Yeah. And then it was 24-17 and then there was a pick 6. He's right.
Yeah.
So essentially what you have are 2 close-ish games where the Steelers won 1 and the Ravens won 1. Kind of think this is shit kicking time. Do you think 31-13 sounds good?
Is that over?
Oh shit! Yeah, I don't know. I want to respect your
I
take there.
don't think it's okay. You don't have to.
It's a push.
I don't think the Ravens get 31.
Okay, 27-13.
Yeah, that 26-13.
Okay. Hope Parlay Patty said, I'm sorry if y'all can see my comment, but not coming through on my end. Are you going to talk about the Bills game today or tomorrow? Tomorrow. Steak, we haven't nailed down a time yet, but I think we have to go a little on the earlier side. I have a open house 11 o'clock.
Okay, I don't care. You tell me, I'll make it happen.
It might have to be a 9 a.m. prop time, vintage prop time, if that's okay.
I'm fine with that.
Prop talk. Okay. I'll tell. We might have mid-major and cornfields on, by the way. Should be a good time. All right. I think we can wrap it up. I think that was job well done.
Yep. Quick 48 minutes. I like it.
Steak, have you looked at the basketball board today? Do you have anything?
Absolutely played college basketball. It's on my Twitter. I have 11 plays on there. EPT. I love Joe Mixon. I can't figure out who I love in the Ravens Steelers game, but I am going to do a touchdown parlay probably for the whole weekend. But Joe Mixon is definitely step one for me. And pandemic, I already fucking nuked Zona because you told me to. And Nikki Gamble's Air Force is disgusting. I haven't pressed it yet, but it is one of the grossest lines of the day for sure.
Okay. All right. Good shit. Steak. Job well done. Thank you for making the time as always. Thank you for the Orange Bowl companionship. I posted a picture, but I was very scared after Notre Dame threw Riley Leonard threw that interception. And I just watched probably half the fourth quarter with my eyes behind Steak's shoulders. He's got the best shoulders in the game. Good to smack, good to push, good to hide behind. Joey Dumps knows. We'll be there in the national championship. We'll beat Atlanta. We're coming in the 19th. If anybody's in the area, hit us up. We're going in the 19th to watch the NFL. We have to take it easy and pace ourselves because we cannot be banged up the 20th. 20th, we're going to do the head shaving. Steak, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. We'll confirm the time a little bit later. But thank you and good luck today.
See you, boys.
Peace, dude. Okay, any chance for an NHL TikTok later, DGen? Maybe. I have to go to a 40th birthday tonight at about 6:30. I need to leave at 6. I'm going to be home at about 1:30. I'm trying to get a massage in there. I need a massage bad. My back is fucked. Deep tissue. None of that Swedish bullshit. Yeah. Okay. Underdog link is in there if you want to sign up. I'm going to play. I'm going to go Warren receptions, Mixon rush receiving, Henry attempts. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Is Snowman live? Or Ramble. Oh, I guess Ramble's probably shutting down actually. But shout out to Ramble. Good dudes as always. We'll raid Snowman Sports. Yep, Snowman's a good dude. DGen Ryan Day is coming. I know the massage was coming once I saw you running down the I was very nice, by the way. I kept saying, let's go Irish. I was saying, but fuck Ohio State. Let's go Irish. Running by the Penn State fans because all the Penn State fans were leaving. Not many Notre Dame fans were leaving. They don't know how to beat traffic. But it was very nice. But fuck Ohio State. Let's go Irish. But fuck Ohio State. All right, guys. Raid Snowman. Have a great day. Thanks for hanging out. I'll chat with you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.